and the influence of music and how that worked. At what point in time, how did it work out for you, especially with your father as well?
Okay. So yeah, I was way back in Wenchi,
That's where you grew up.
Yeah. Okay. Somehow, through to when I was 13, when I came to my dad in Accra, and ever since I've been here in Accra, it's been music all over. Because dad is not a radio person, so he would direct you on the kind of songs to listen to. Even if
your dad,
my dad.
Wow. And he named you Gladstone.
Gladstone, yeah.
What informed the name?
Well, in the midst of the storm, big Glad.
Wow.
But Gladys.
Was it a challenge having you? They say some kids they were stubborn from the wombs of their mothers.
Not my father, I did for. But that's a male version of Gladys is Gladstone.
Okay.
But for me, I interpret it different. In the midst of the storm.
In the midst of the storm, be glad.
Yeah, be glad. Yeah. So yeah, I grew up with daddy. Daddy would be going to the trek. Now we call it tour.
Tour, yeah.
Yeah, way back it was trek. Yeah. To different regions, playing and stuff, and I would follow him up. So somehow I had it in me that I actually wanted to do music.
Were you playing? Did you play any instrument with him at that time?
No, but I knew what rhythm was.
Okay.
So they had this little computer, like drum, electronic drum.
Yeah.
That I would play once they go on break.
Yeah.
They would put me there as young as I was, and play my old till they're like, oh wow. So somehow I knew I actually wanted to do music.
Yeah.
But then it obviously has to start from somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah. So right after SHS,
you picked it up.
I picked it up.
There was a wide variety of genres to choose from, especially considering the era and the generation that we were in. I mean, hip hop music and hip life music were very, dominant. None of these managed to change or influence you. Or did you ever start off with any of them before High Life?
Yes, I was a rapper.
Oh my days!
I was a rapper in school.
Do you remember any of your raps?
Oh, Mikael Kakra.
Say.
We nye etu ejan anasi nkan bi mani na me de mahunu han obako akohunu dance ni hwan pani besi ni ehu enyetan isi wo gobo ni odi mu kai kai.
Wow. So it was rapping that was.
Yeah, it was rapping, but then I was doing that Craig David stuff. Oh my ways, see my friends. Yeah. I was doing those. So we're back in school, St. Francis. They were like, I saw the Craig David. Wow. So the first time most of my friends heard that I was singing, they were like, wow, you saw rap? I'm like, nah. I actually wanted to do the singing. But then I was an instrumentalist before I became an artist, and I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
which instrument did you start learning to play?
Keyboard. Yeah.
Who taught you?
I would say I started it myself, and then Daddy continued. Because we're back in Kumasi. I actually went back to Kumasi to go and stay with my mom for a while. When I got there at the church premises, there was no keyboardist. The keyboard was there, and they had this that hard card paper that they write the A with a small letter A when you go to the nursery schools. Yeah, they've illustrated everything on the paper, and it's under the keyboard.
Wow.
And nobody was doing anything about it. I just had to self-teach myself till go to a certain point. People were like, Akwaboah, do one instrument, man. I'm like, I'm learning how to play the keyboard.
Yeah.
And they were all on me.
Yeah.
They forced me because they felt Daddy was so good and I had to be good.
Exactly. That's what I was going to ask you. That's I mean, the shoes to fill with what your dad had left or is leaving or has is huge. Did you ever feel burdened, at any point in time that a comparison might be made and people will say, how people are?
Yeah, I think it's a shoe that I'm still trying to fill because when it comes to Dad, his ear for music or his mind, like the brains, it is still very, very deep. Until date, I still have to do some songs and then take it to him. That will be what saying. That we if you have an audition and to connect with say, and you is a vocals no form. We just all that kind of stuff. So till date, it's very instrumental and everything.
Do you recall certain moments in times past with him that would never forget? Memorable moments with your dad, aside from the very public one, which was the collaboration you did with the remix you did. I still play it on my Apple Music almost every single time.
Thanks.
Are there any memorable moments that you shared with your old man?
I think that would be my recent event, the show. Okay. It was something that I was really looking forward to, performing with my dad on one stage. And then I always say this, when you see your dad going on, when you support your dad, somehow God has his blessings on you. So it was something that I really wanted to see. So I don't know. Okay, I don't know if you watched the performance.
I missed. I was so
You're
eager to
supposed
comment, and I called the team that I
Yes,
wanted to
take it.
be there with the code
Yeah.
and then I missed
Didn't
out.
come. So it was. I mean, I was just looking at him like that, performing, and that was something I really wanted to do. So I don't think it's something that I would actually forget.
Is this something you pass on to your kids?
Yes, I'm doing these things so that when my kids grow and eventually become musicians, they would know what I did.
Yeah.
You get it, so that they can also do the same.
High life.